diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jet, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. That boy nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, man, back with another one, man. Happy Thursday. Okay, what day is it? March 13th. Happy Thursday to all you Bammers out there. All right. I hope everybody's doing well. I know a lot of you Bammers are watching the SWAC tournament and stuff like that. Listen, I don't care. Okay. Let's just keep it a buck. Nobody really cares about SWAC basketball. I mean, like, you got the diehards, but you know, it's SWAC basketball. Nobody really cares. So, but listen, I did want to go live before the week is out. That's just
that's just really how I felt. Because I don't really do shows on Fridays. You know, everybody's out and about doing their thing. So I definitely wanted to get a couple things off my chest before the week, and then catch you guys again on Monday. Now, listen, before we do anything else, make sure you like the stream. If you're watching me on Twitter, take your ass over to YouTube, type in OFFSCRIPT, become a subscriber. You already know what it is. First of all, let me I want to give a shout out to everybody who watched the Omega Psi Phi Bankrupt show, man. So many. Man, y'all guys have been so supportive, man. We appreciate you guys and everything that we do. Shout out to Coach Dre. What's up, Coach Dre? What's up, Dad? Truth, what's good to y'all, man? Happy to see all you guys in the chat, man. But want to appreciate all the support, man, all the comments. It has been just it was a phenomenal video. Probably gonna have to do a part 2 because all the new incoming information that we received. So be mindful of that. Probably be doing it on Monday, maybe a Wednesday or Monday or something like that. But overall, I just want to say thank you for that. And you know I gotta pay some quick bills. Listen. The Tubman Museum Golf Tournament is in and around, is getting close. Trust me, May will be here at the snap of a finger. Listen, it's spring up here in Ohio. It's been 60 degrees. That's spring up here all day, every day. Shorts and T-shirts, baby. All right, but make sure y'all take your happy ass down to the Crystal Lake Golf and Country Club of Hampton, Georgia, Monday, May 5th. Come on, get your Tiger Woods on, okay? All right, listen. Foursomes, $500, individuals, $150. This is a partnership between the Alabama State men's and women's golf tournament with the Tubman African American Museum. You definitely want to be in attendance. You definitely want to be in full support. And at a lovely country club at that. Some of you Bamas ain't getting in there, okay? So this is your perfect opportunity to make it happen, right? At the Crystal Lake Golf and Country Club, Hampton, Georgia. Make sure you in it. Man, shout out to you, N.O. Joe, man. Appreciate you for coming a member. Long-time listener, what they say, first-time member. All right, but he probably been a member before. But great, love the support, Joe. Register at www.tubmangolf.org. That is www.tubmangolf.org. All right, make sure you get that going. Now, today, let me see. Shout out to Myrtle Beach. First time coming to Myrtle Beach. I've never been to Myrtle Beach. I heard it be popping like black. Is that like the Black Bike Week in Myrtle Beach? I heard that should be popping crazy. I got to check that out one time. So let's get into today's show. Now, first and foremost, first of all, Tennessee State is in a weird position. You've heard it on many platforms, and you talked about it on numerous platforms, right? Tennessee State is just in a weird predicament, right? Because at the end of the day, this is not the time that you want to be looking for a head coach in the spring practice, spring ball, you know what I'm saying? And then remember that transfer portal, as soon as the spring season's over, that transfer portal gets hot, right? Opens right back up and Bama's be out. So it's a tough situation that Eddie George left he left Tennessee State in, but understandably, when you have an opportunity to go to a better, more stable. Now, I don't think the job is just like, oh my God, this is a great job. I think it's one of those like, one ship is sinking, let me go swim to the ship that is still afloat, right? And that's what Bowling Green is. Because who wants to be in the MAC? Yes, Urban Meyer got his start there. Yes, he may win. Everybody ain't Urban Meyer. That's what people tell me. People tell me all the time. Oh, you not this, you not that. Oh, you think you this, you think you that. Hey, he not Urban Meyer. Okay. Now, what he did at Tennessee State, absolutely amazing. Built it from the ground up, started off rocky, pushed through, made the playoffs, made a great run in the game to win that game. So it's I'm not knocking anything that Eddie George did while at Tennessee State. All I'm saying is he's not Urban Meyer, okay? So all I'm saying, he's not no Urban Meyer. But he does leave Tennessee State in a precarious situation. Now, the thing is this. I've read multiple articles on some of the coaching candidacy. I've had a couple insiders reach out to me and tell me some of the things that were going on at Tennessee State. So I didn't compile a big list because there's probably about like 9 to 10 names that I've heard. I'm just going to the ones that I've heard the most and a couple wild card picks that I've read on a couple online papers. Excuse me. Right. So here we go. Now, some of you may know these names. Some of you may not. Okay. So top candidates for this position, numero uno is Brandon Fisher, his current Tennessee State defensive coordinator, which I believe would be an absolute. Listen, instead of FAMU going left when they should have went right and hired Smitty, I think Tennessee State is in that boat right now where you could just hire Brandon Fisher, keep it going, has FCS experience. He's taken this team. He's had great defenses. He's taken this team to the playoffs. I think he's a very good hire, right? You keep a lot of defensive players on staff. You keep some of the offensive players on staff because they feel comfortable with Brandon and things like that. And where Brandon's network goes, who he will be able to bring in offensively as an OC, and maybe he stays at DC or however, I think that's a formula for success. And he's white. Listen, I don't always believe in the white man's ISIS coder, but I do believe that in the state of Tennessee, and you dealing with a lot of politics, it wouldn't hurt if you had a white man at head coach. That's all I'm saying. It might not change a lot of funding for TSU, but it ain't gonna hurt. All right. It's never hurt. Yes, I do know that, right? Because Jeff Fisher was in a consultant's role when he first got the job, right? So doesn't hurt to have Jeff Fisher as your dad, right? And a lot of young coaches, Mr. 7 and 9, right? Mr. Jeff Fisher, Mr. 7 and 9, right? So it doesn't hurt to have those type of connections in this position. So I think it's a great hire. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. And it keeps a lot of the stability that you would be losing if you lost both of these guys. I've also heard that he might roll with Eddie George to Bowling Green. You know what I'm saying? So it's a possibility as well. Now, second on this list, I swear for God, his name comes up for every HBCU job. Fred McNair. Now, listen. Let me say this. I think Fred McNair is a good coach. Great. I don't know about great, but he's like at that fringe of good and great. But I don't know if I don't even know if he's good outside of Alcorn. And I think there is such a symbiotic relationship there that I think it just works. They understand him and he understands them. And I think that had a lot to do with how well he did at Alcorn. I do not know. All right. I do not know if Fred McNair is able to get a level of success that he had at Alcorn at a Tennessee State. I don't know if and listen, you guys have dealt with Fred McNair long. You guys have seen Fred McNair long. I don't know if he's able to build a playoff contending team at Tennessee State. I don't believe that. I just don't. Now, do I believe that he can do a lot with a little? I do believe that because Tennessee State's is in a financial bind. He won't have all the resources and things like that. They're definitely not gonna pay him Eddie George money. Hell no, right? So because he ain't no Eddie George. So if you want him to be a bridge gap while you're going through your financial troubles, a perfect example is this. He's your rebound, okay? You break up with your dude or your girl, you'll find a nice chick, and you just say, you know what? I'm in a vulnerable spot right now. I need some companionship. You're there for me, and I think that would be a great Fred McNair situation. Fred McNair is a great companion. Fred McNair wouldn't mind doing the grunt work of trying to restabilize the program, doing the financial issues until you get back on your feet, and then you leave. I hit the table. My bad. I hit the table. My bad. I hit the table. All right. So I don't think Fred McNair makes you a playoff contending team. Okay, I don't think he makes you a playoff contending team. I don't think he makes you a championship team. I don't think he's going to do very well. But again, I do believe he can weather the storm. All right, for Tennessee State. Now, Shannon Harris, former quarterback at Tennessee State. You know how HBCU love their alums. You know how HBCU love their alums now. They hire an alum in a heartbeat. Oh my God, you played here? Oh my God, come on back. Oh my God, you played here? Oh my God, come on back. Oh my God, you did 6 snaps here? Oh my God, come on back. They love hiring some alums. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did this. Shannon Harris, and he's not a slouch as a resume. Let me be very clear. He's not a slouch in the resume at all. Currently the DC Defenders quarterback coach. You know what I'm saying? So he is at the UFL level, probably has some great UFL connections. I wouldn't be mad at this hire as well. Once again, he's an alum. Clearly, hopefully he understands the circumstances that he is in. Again, I'm not paying him Eddie George money. Again, I'm not paying him Eddie George money. I just want to be very clear about that. But Shannon Harris, I don't believe is a bad. Now, I don't believe he's a bad hire either. Or placeholder, whatever you want to call it, right? Now, going to these wild card picks. If you know anything about Mike Farrell has an online thing. He writes articles and stuff and talks about sports. This is from Mike Farrell's article on the Tennessee coaching. His wild picks at Celebrity were Terrell Owens. I didn't spell it right, so shut up. Don't talk to me. Terrell Owens, I was rushing, and Marcus Spears. Now, I don't like either one of these hires. I honestly don't. I don't think, if you've ever met Terrell Owens, he's not a very good people person. He's not, okay? He's a dick. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. If you ever met Terrell Owens, he's a straight dick, okay? So I don't know if he's head coach, program, face of a program material. I don't believe that. I don't think that. Marcus Spears, I don't know. I don't know if Marcus Spears will even want this job. Because he's a ESPN analyst and he makes good money. I don't know why he would want the headaches of becoming a Tennessee State head coach. But my caveat is the Cromartie family. Dominique Rodgers and Antonio. Antonio wants to coach. Dominique Rodgers, Cromartie wants to coach. If you could bring the Cromarties into this situation, I like it. I like it. Straight L DeBarge. I like it. I like it. I love it. Right? Dominique Rodgers Cromartie is an alum. Antonio Cromartie is a very prominent named NFL player. He is currently coaching. Dominique Rodgers wants to get into coaching. I think if you bring Antonio Cromartie as a head coach, clearly he's going to bring his cousin in, who is a Tennessee State legend, right? So I like that. If you're going to go celebrity, I think Antonio Cromartie or whatever else celebrity throws their hat in the ring. If it's a Chris Carter, I don't know if you go Ed Reed. I wouldn't mind Ed Reed. I think they might finally pack out their stadium if you hire an Ed Reed. But again, you know me, I'm never mad at a celebrity hire, right? I'm not mad at a celebrity hire. And I think if you go the celebrity route, I think you keep a lot of players on staff. I think you keep a lot of players on the team if you go the celebrity route and people feel like you're really trying to get this thing restarted, really pour back into the football program. But if you're not, at the end of the day, man, listen, I think it's a simple brainer. It's either you go Brandon Fisher and you try to run it back and try to stabilize the program, or you completely blow it up and you go Fred McNair and let Fred McNair be your rebound. Very simple. I don't think it's really complicated. It's either one or the other, right? You keep it stabilized with Brandon Fisher, have him become the head guy. No Diddy. Yikes. Oh, yikes. Oh, Jesus. Be the top dog, right? And you try to run it back, or the rebound chick. There's nothing wrong with a rebound chick. You know, listen, rebound chicks rebounds have their purpose. okay? And they got to live in their purpose. And Fred McNair is a damn good rebound because, again, he ain't going to get Eddie George money. He is currently, he's not unemployed. He works at Southern. He's not a head coach. I'm sorry. He's not unemployed. He works for Southern, but he ain't a head coach, right? So he'll probably come in for $275, $280, you know what I'm saying? Because he wants to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? So bring him in for $275, $280, you straight. You know, a little rebuild, you know what I'm saying? That's my little 2 cents on that. So, but the wild card picks for Mike Farrell, not a fan. Terrell Owens is, yeah. And Marcus Spears, I don't think he's going to waste his time on something like that. So that's just my little 2 cents on the Tennessee State situation and where they should go with the head coach. But I hope they figure out something soon. And listen, it's nothing wrong with getting, it's nothing wrong with doing an interim. There's nothing wrong with doing an interim tag for maybe the OC or whoever. If Brandon Fisher does decide to go and you want to give another time, you want to give more time to find the guy that's right for the program. There's nothing wrong with that either, Tennessee State. So do what you do, but watch my shoes. Now, let's talk about Michael Vick. All right. I was tagged so much in him actually wearing some Norfolk State gear. It was absolutely freaking ridiculous. Okay. Like, my Twitter was going crazy. My Instagram DMs, people would sending me back, Scotty, he in gear. Scotty, he in gear. Scotty, listen. He finally wanted to claim them. Okay, y'all giving this man way too much credit. The Bama went to the MEAC tournament. What else was he supposed to wear? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. But see, y'all gonna get fooled. Okay? Y'all gonna get fooled because I know the real Michael Vick. And you know what Michael Vick won't do to me?
Cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
He cannot trick me.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
I know the real Michael Vick. And listen, it's no different than what girls used to do at high school. You leave a house wearing the outfit that's appropriate for you, right? Like you got your pants on, you got your t-shirt on, you got your jacket on, and you just walk out the house like. Then when she get to school, she changed it to the real J. She changed it to the short skirt, you know what I'm saying? Spaghetti strap, you know what I'm saying? Shoulders out, chest all out. I know the real Michael Vick. And again,
you cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
You know why? Because this is Michael Vick in one of his recent interviews.
Of a college football team. Let's talk about what you were wearing when you did your first press conference. I mean, the jacket, all good. Where the hell was you going with that whistle, though, Mike? Why you had the whistle?
Okay.
Like, what?
Yeah. I love that whistle.
Need I say more? The Bama in a t-shirt. He don't even want to. It is so bad. He is doing an interview in a t-shirt.
Whistle.
Okay.
Man,
so you love
Whistle
the whistle.
man.
You're a whistle.
that whistle, I got it from Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
And he presented it to me on the Fox set when
Yes,
the announcement
yeah.
was made. And that day I cried so much, man. That whistle is like my comfort level. And I cried because it's bittersweet. Like I said, it abruptly happened. When he gave it to me, it was like a transformation. Like it's no longer about the pen and what I present to an audience. It's about, me being attached to this whistle, and knowing what that whistle really meant. It officially made me a coach, I felt like, and I was like, man, I'm carrying this with me every day in a football setting.
Yeah. You are a head.
Again, I'm going to say this again. He's like the chick that leaves the house in the appropriate gear. He know how to dress for church. He went to the MEAC tournament. He wearing his Norfolk State hat, probably the only one he got. He wearing his Norfolk State jacket, probably the only one he got. But everywhere else, he not claiming you. Everywhere else, he not claiming you. Every national platform, he is not claiming you. Go to the tournament. Go to the little MEAC tournament. The CIAA tournament bigger than the MEAC tournament. Go to that little regional tournament that they do. I'ma show up. I'ma sit in the front. I'ma wear my one hat. I'ma wear my one jacket. But everywhere else, what he gonna look like? The Bama wearing a t-shirt. The Bama wearing a he is on a major platform, a major interview, and the Bama is wearing a t-shirt. That is how disrespectful he feels about his job. And they're asking him questions about the coaching job that he's currently at. That's why they had to do the B-roll of the jacket, because he ain't never worn it again. He ain't never worn it again. Since the press conference, you ain't seen Michael Vick in that jacket again. I ain't seen it. Kobe done throwing it away. Listen to the interview. They asking him about the job that he's taking, and he's not even wearing the gear of the school that he's coaching at.
Of a college football team. Let's talk about what you were wearing when you did your first press conference. I mean, the jacket, all good. Where the hell was you going with that whistle, though, Mike? Why you had the whistle?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I love that whistle. That whistle, man.
So you love
Whistle
the whistle,
man.
You're a whistle.
That whistle, I got it from Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
And he presented it to me on the Fox set when
Yes,
the announcement was made. And that day I cried so much, man. That whistle is like my comfort level. And I cried because it's bittersweet. Like I said, it abruptly happened. When he gave it to me, it was like a transformation. Like it's no longer about the pen and what I present to an audience. It's about, me being attached to this whistle, and knowing what that whistle really meant. It officially made me a coach, I felt like, and I was like.
It officially made me a coach, I felt like. It officially made me a coach with you wearing a Fox hat. It officially made you a coach, but you wearing a t-shirt in an interview. Not a Norfolk State polo.
Cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. You can't. I know the real Michael Vick. The real Michael Vick ain't rocking Norfolk State gear. That just is what it is. Seeing Michael Vick in Norfolk State gear is like seeing Haley's Comet. Bama's be on the street like, wow, you see that? Vick got on, oh my God. Vick got on Norfolk State gear. Look at that. Isn't God good? That's how people treat. That's how you gotta treat Michael Vick when he in Norfolk State gear. Wow. Wow. Look at that. What a surprise. Whew, what a sight. Because Bama don't ever wear no gear. Never. Never. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And people be like, oh, Scotty, you're nitpicking. I'm not nitpicking. It's just like the decency of being a coach. That's it. I'm not asking you anything another head coach would not do. Any head coach. And again, I know there is no real Norfolk State fans. Okay, let's just be very clear about that. Ain't right? They've been so ass in football for so long. Ain't no Norfolk State fans. But what I'm saying is this: is that Norfolk State brought Michael Vick in because they wanted to do something different and they wanted to give notoriety to the school. But how can they get notoriety when the Bama ain't never rocking? Let me explain something. Right? I was talking to somebody. I went up to Columbus and I was talking to my son had a baseball clinic. I went up to Columbus and I'm just talking to people. And we're talking about celebrity hires and stuff like that. We got on the HBCU stuff, celebrity hires. And I lied to you not. Right hand on the Bible, right? Right hand on the Bible. Somebody was like, "Isn't Michael Vick at an HBCU?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you know which one?" They was like, I don't know." I said, "Because you never see him wearing it. You never see him wearing it. You never." Even in the clips that the general manager posts, Michael Vick ain't in none of those. He ain't at the practice field. Deshaun Jackson is in all the practice field shots. Granted, he be shooting, he be going to LA, he be doing his thing, but he be on the field. Again, does this have anything to do with wins and losses? No, right? No. But you cannot tell me, and this is how I feel, and you can say whatever you want. And I look at it like this. If Dion, and I know people don't like to compare, but if it's important to Dion, it should be important to you. Not everything, not all the morals of Dion is important, but goddamn, like he's giving you the blueprint. You can have Vick in green and gold. I don't give a damn, Vick. Listen to what I'm telling you. I do not care. All I'm saying is put some goddamn colors on. Put Vick in 7 in green and gold for all I care. Right? Put dot the I with the Norfolk State logo for all I care. If you want to wear Vick gear for a lifetime, that is fine. Put the shit in green and gold for just God's sakes. You're coming out in a major interview with a gray Fox hat, which you do not work there anymore, and you're in a white t-shirt. And Vick, listen, bro, like, this is game for free because I really want you to win, right? I really love that you took the job. I'm just disappointed in how you're promoting them. Listen, if you would make Vick gear in green and gold, it would make people buy and support the actual university. Just a fact. Just a little game for you. If you put your gear in green and gold and said 20% or 30% of the revenue goes to Norfolk State, Bama's would buy the gear. I'm just saying, like, it bothers me because it's not hard. You're already wearing it anyway. Just put the whole in green and gold. That's half the battle. Just get into the colors. Just get to the palette. Just get the palette of colors right. And then go from there. But again, for people that
Cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
You cannot trick me. You can't. People coming up, people adding me and tagging me and Scotty, you see Vick in the that ain't the real Michael Vick. I seen the real Michael Vick. And that ain't it. You know what the real Michael Vick look like?
what you were wearing.
That's what the real Michael Vick look like. Moving on. Jesus Christ. Burning me up this afternoon. All right. Listen. Alabama A&M knocked out of the SWAC basketball tournament. Let me say this. Let me say this. Hey, again, merch. I get it. I get it. But all I'm saying, merch, is put the shit in green and gold. At least. That's half the battle. Like, he not even wearing the school colors. You get what I'm saying? The Bama in gray. White. Just put it in green and gold. That's it. That's, again, wear the Norfolk State hat. Put your Vic stuff in green and gold. That's half the battle right there. You already wearing a hat. Just make sure the shit say Norfolk with a 7 in it. He can't even copyright that. If he put Norfolk in the L's of 7, that ain't copyright. You know what I'm saying? They don't got, again, it ain't hard. You just got to know what, you just got to be committed to promoting the school. You got to be committed to marketing. Norfolk's the city. They can't copyright that. That's all I'm saying. Jesus Christ. That's all I'm saying. So, Alabama A&M knocked out of the tournament. When I tell you I'm heartbroken, I'm sad. I'm sad. Okay? I'm sad. Let me be very clear about this. I support Don Thornton 21 and 10 or 21 and 9 for the regular season, 21-10 in the with the tournament loss. Not a slouch of a season. Most wins in program history, not a slouch. I want to be very clear. She was playing with 3 starters not healthy. 2 of her girls got, I think, like season-ending injuries. One had an ACL, like her top scorers, right, for her team, like early, like mid-season. One tore their ACL, another one had a leg injury or something like that. So she didn't have her top 3 scorers for half of the season, and still went 21 and 9. I want to be very mindful of what I'm saying. I'm not giving Dawn any excuses, but I am giving you facts. That's just straight facts. Injuries are a part of the game, and she still went 21 and 9. So what I'm saying right here and now, I'm on my Deion shit. You better get it this year. I'm telling you right now. Year 2, you're done. Year 2, you're done. First of all, the only person that was out recruiting Dawn was Tamika. She gone. I'm telling you right now, year 2, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even think she's going to get more wins. I really don't. I think in the SWAC, I think she's going to run through the SWAC. I'm not even worried. I think like the out-of-conference stuff, I think that might go iffy, so she might not have 20 wins or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, year 2, you're in trouble. Year 2, you're in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Year 2, you're going to be in trouble. She gonna listen. The one thing about Dawn, okay, I'm telling you, the one thing about Dawn Thornton, if she can't do nothing else, the chick can recruit. And a couple girls that she recruited, Zay Green, and another girl she got from a Power 4 conference, they went back up to Power 4 and been killing it, right? I'm telling you right now, year 2 is going to be trouble. Year 2 is going to be trouble. Now, I don't know about those starters and how they rebound because ACLs of weird injuries and all those. I'm telling you, trust me when I tell you. I'm telling you right now, year 2 is on site. Year 2 is on site. Everybody can get it. Year 2, everybody can get it. Straight. That's your man's. He with you. Both of y'all. We both with smart tech. I'm telling you. She's going to be a problem. She's going to be a problem because she was out recruiting schools at UAPB. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. She was out recruiting schools at UAPB. She is at A&M with those facilities. I'm telling you. She gonna get a guard. She gonna get a guard. That she gonna get a big guard that's gonna do work. This is gonna do work. Now, no slouch to the girl at Jackson State. I think she got player of the year. No slouch to her, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now. I'm hitting y'all. I'm doing the Dion for Dawn, so she ain't gotta say it. Because I know she's thinking it. She already know. And it ain't excuses. She still went 21-9 with 3 of her starting scores for the season. That ain't even an excuse. That's facts. And still went 21-9. Okay? So let's be very mindful. Best school record ever with 3 starters out of the lineup. You better get her now. Yeah, better gotten her now. Because I'm telling you right now, year 2, I'm backing the Brinks truck up. And I'm putting it all on Don. Let it ride on Dawn Thornton running the table in the SWAC. Telling you that right now. I'm going to just be very clear. Now, last thing before I move on. I forgot to bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up. I think I got the screenshot. I'm going to try to bring it up for you guys real quick. Here we go. Now, some rumors swirling, okay, about Patrick Crary not signing his contract. All right, so let me bring this up. That's what I said. They had better. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. They had better got her now because year 2 she ain't gonna get got. So let me say this. Now, from what I've talked to some people at, I got a little insight. I was told he did sign it, right? I was told he did sign it, but there is no buyout for him, right? I don't think like he has to give money back. I think it might be like a $30K buyout or something like that. Let me just say this, man. Twitter is a weird space to be in because people just be saying some shit that just don't make no sense. First of all, again, the name of the game is to win. And Patrick Crary was winning. It again, and I'm being so serious when I say this. It wasn't hard to do what he did after the other guy. The other guy was ass. Okay? The other guy was so bad. Okay. My mom used to tell me this when I was in my whole stages, right? This is what my mom would tell me. She's like, baby, and my mom don't even say baby. So she says, Abrion, you have treated these women so bad. The next guy has to do the bare minimum to get them because you did them so bad. That was my whole stages. I'm not there no more. I love my wife. My wife is my world, right? But that was my whole years, right? And that's where A&M is at right now. Like, and I think Patrick did a great job. I'm not taking anything away from Patrick. I'm really not. But goddamn, the Bama was so bad. You didn't have to do much to get a welcome committee. And on top of that, next year, all 12 teams go to the tournament. So he don't even gotta be good. That gotta be the dumbest shit ever. Everybody go to the tournament. Everybody. That's some dumb shit. What's the benefit of the regular season if all these ninjas go to the tournament? It's like participation trophies for everybody. What kind of dumb shit is that? Oh, you can go. You're 0-37. Oh, you can go. Oh, you're 1-25. You can go. It's stupid. So again, now granted, Patrick has done a great job at FAMU. And again, and this is for any coach. This is for any coach. If a white school wants you, you're gone. Because they will pay. It's very simple. If he signed a contract, if he didn't sign a contract, if a white school wants him, they will get him. Period. So all the other stuff you're talking about, it don't make no sense. Flat out. It don't make no sense. So it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter if he signed the contract. It don't. It don't matter if he did or he didn't. He has coached his way to get multiple opportunities if he did that. And for all you FAMU people, oh my God, they can't stay on our board and they should have gave him a 3-year contract. And it don't fucking matter. It doesn't. Because he's good. If he leaves, find another freaking basketball coach. It doesn't matter. You can find a basketball coach anywhere. Under a rock. Anywhere. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying he's going to be good as Patrick. But you didn't win nothing with him. Your program was just relevant. You didn't. It's not like the Bama took you from last to first. He took you like last to 8th, last to 7th, last to 9th. He made you competitive. Congratulations. You know what it feels like to be competitive in basketball. Whoop-de-doo. Did you pack out any games? No. Is the SWAC tournament sold out? No. Because again, nobody gives a damn about SWAC basketball. The Bamas went to a smaller arena and still can't pack the hole out. So again, it don't matter. It does not matter. You're trying to make a big thing out of a little thing. If he leaves, go get the white guy that everybody else wanted from the NAIA. Who beat Patrick? Like, what are we talking about? That's who everybody wanted. They wanted the white Bama who was in the championship game. Who beat Patrick? Again, thank you, Coach Rome. There's people to be found. So if he leaves, sayonara. Congratulations, you did what you were supposed to do. You made yourself valuable. That's what coaches are supposed to do. Make themselves valuable by winning games. If you did not know that, everything's a stepping stone. Nobody's going to be at FAMU for 30 years coaching basketball and winning national championships, okay? Get the hell out of here. So go look for a new guy. Who cares? Jesus freaking Christ, man. People be thinking like it's the end of the world. Oh my God, he might leave. So freaking what? Who cares? It's basketball in the SWAC. Who cares? The attendants tell you that nobody cares. They care more about the CIAA basketball tournament than they do about SWAC or MEAC. Come on, man. And if I'm being honest, without Tamika, this ain't even really fun no more. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you because you know anybody who goes in the first round gonna get their ass whooped. At least with Tamika, it was competitive. You like, ooh, this is going to be a good game. There's some matchups here. This is that. Everybody else going to get their ass whooped in the first round. Y'all don't want to say it. I'll say it for you. It's facts. It is just simple facts. That's the only reason why I watched the tournament last year, because I just wanted to see who Tamika was going to play in the first round. That's it. Come on, man. That's the only reason why I even watch SWAC basketball. I just want to see what Tamika was working with. Because the regular season don't matter. But I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy watching Valley play. Valley, I like those guards at Valley. It was a really fun game watching them play. Who was it I watched? I watched FAMU against PV. That was a pretty interesting game. I ain't watched nobody else really. That was it. I heard the Grambling Southern game was pretty good, but I ain't watched that. So, but shout out to Coach Jackson doing this thing. So, all right. Last thing before I get up out of here. Call lines are open 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Who can win a first four game? Who? What SWAC girls team other than Norfolk? Norfolk can win a first four in game easily. They loaded. Who in the SWAC can win a first four in game? Yeah, you're bugging. You're bugging. You're smacked. You're smacked. I'm not talking about men's. I didn't say nothing about men's basketball. I said women's. I said women's. I said women's. I said women's. I said no. I didn't say nothing about men's. I said women. I said the only reason why I watched the tournament was because of Tamika Reed and what she was able to do in the first round. Because she always had great teams that matched up well and had good bigs. I ain't say nothing about men's. Nada. So, all right. Last but not least, listen, man. Hey, last but not least. Hey, listen, I'm keeping the buckles up. We are broke. What's that song by Lotto? Brokey. Listen. It's a different world out there. Okay? It is a different world out there. And we ain't in it. Keeping up with the Joneses does not look good. And I'm simply going to say this. Okay? Listen. Let me read this for you. And this ain't the Grambling G. Okay, this is the Georgia G. The University of Georgia will distribute funds to athletes according to the following breakdown. Football, 75% of the revenue sharing pool, approximately 13 to 17 million. Men's basketball, 15% of the revenue sharing pool. Women's basketball, 5% of the revenue sharing pool, and all other sports, 5% of the revenue sharing pool. $2.5 million will also be allocated for creating scholarships based on these figures and percentages. Football players will receive an average of $149,000 to $165,000 per athlete, with 105 eligible athletes. Men's basketball receive an average of $215,000 per athlete, and athletes in all other sports receive a significant less, averaging around $4,000 per athlete. Listen to me and listen to me very carefully. That House settlement is not going to be in your favor. And the reason that I'm going to keep saying this to you is because what money are you sharing out of what revenue pool? Because again, I'm going to say this. The revenue sharing pool that Georgia, that Oregon, that Ohio State, that all these Power Four conferences are using is the media money that they receive in their media deals. So again, if you opt in to this House settlement, right, there is a revenue sharing that you are able to do. But again, if you don't have the revenue to share, what are you sharing? What are you sharing? You're in a game that you cannot play. The revenue sharing pool is your whole athletic budget is their revenue sharing pool. So okay. This is my issue with the situation, is that I'm not going to say any names, because every time I say somebody's names, no, this is not NIL. This is not NIL. This is a new legitimate way. It's a salary cap. The NCAA has officially approved a salary cap for athletics, and Title IX pushed that salary cap through all sports. It's just not, oh, you can do this for football and can't do any else. No, it is for all sports, right? So that is what you're dealing. You're literally, there is a salary cap in college athletics. I won't even say college football. In college athletics, there is a salary cap. Now, I'm not going to say anybody's name. I'm just going to tell you this. Yes, athletes can still get NIL. So if you're able to market so this is literally saying, hey, if your kid is getting recruited by Georgia, he gets a guaranteed paycheck of blah, blah, because he's part of the 105 on staff. You get on the team. It's a roster bonus. Now, if your son or daughter becomes a superstar and can get its own branding, that is not to stop his name, image, and likeness for receiving more money from an Amazon, from a McDonald's, from a Bojangles, from a Raising Cane's, whatever else that wants to come his way, car dealership or whatever, which name, image, and likeness should have been used in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? So just kind of giving the whole pie of the scenario. But this is where I want to talk to you about. This is, you're asking HBCUs, because I'm going to say this. A lot of white institutions are going to show you the way. They are. And we said it on First and Goal. Josh has said it. BJ has said it. I'm saying it. Is that if you're telling me that North Dakota State and Montana State and South Dakota State, which Mr. Campbell loves to say, they're flagship institutions. Why are you comparing them to us? They are flagship institutions. They are the only central institution. They get all the. If they are flagship institutions at their state and they're sitting back and saying, I don't know if we want to opt into this. I don't think this is in our best benefit. And you have HBCUs who are not flagship institutions, who are low resource institutions, who barely have athletic budgets getting by throughout the year. They're opting in to a house settlement that has them pay a debt back to the NCAA that they receive no credit for, because none of their players got NIL deals or would have been able to reap off benefits other than Steve McNair, right? Maybe Tavares Jackson, maybe your Nunleys or whatever, those rare breeds of players that have popped out or whatever. But not many HBCU players are going to be, receiving any real NIL money. Maybe, the 2000s where, Jackson had the back-to-back first rounders or whatever, right? But you're jumping into you're agreeing to a stature that you cannot afford. Because the reason you cannot afford it is that they're breaking bread off of revenue. And I would love to see, I'm not going to say no names, but the person in charge of the one conference on the East Coast and the one conference in the South, show me the revenue pool that will be able to be shared with athletes. Show me the revenue that would be able to be shared with athletes. Because Josh said it very clear. Okay, you're asking me to add more expenses to a situation where I don't have more income. I'm going to say that again. You're asking schools to opt into a situation that brings on more expenses when I don't get more revenue. You're not negotiating contracts that are bringing more revenue into the conference. So again, you can't look at Power 4, because I'll tell you this. I've talked to some Power 4 coaches and they said, Scotty, it's going to be difficult for us. We ain't got, because think about, the big dogs are always going to stay big. The Ohio States, the Michigans, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Texas, the Tennessee. What about the San Diego States? What about the Oregon States? What about the Washington universities? What about the Boise States? What about all those smaller Power 4 programs? The Iowa State, the Iowa. What about all of those programs that don't make these massive amounts of money? Because as we all know, most athletic programs are in the red. There's not a lot in the black. And then on top of that, they aren't getting major dollars unless you're part of the Big Ten and SEC, where the Big Ten has the $1 billion deal and the SEC has that, $500-600 million deal that they passing around. But they got major programs like Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got major brand recognition. Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia. So again, I really I feel like the people that are running the conference to the east and the conference to the south are trying to play like, how do I say this? It feels like they're trying to, especially the one that runs the South Conference. It feels like he's trying to put his nuts on the table and be like, look what we're doing. But it's really like having a Range Rover at a trailer home. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's smart. I don't. I really don't. I don't think it's smart, because I see what Mr. Campbell is saying about spreading out the scholarship, but you're barely making that budget. You're barely meeting that. People talking about, like, they got 85 scholarships and we got 65, and you're barely making that. I don't get it. I do not understand what is the fascination of jumping into a situation where you're going to have to pay a debt that you're not a part of, and then on top of that, you got to figure out a revenue sharing program which you don't have any revenue to share. Rocky, coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, brother, this is easy to explain. Right? What was my man last year? He was the commissioner of the entire NCAA tournament, right?
Yep.
He had the big job, right? He don't want to let everybody else know that he just at work, that he really work at the bank, but he lives in the project. That's the only way he can validate his existence up there with the big dogs, is to do everything they do. That's all he's doing. He's not looking out for the SWAC schools. He's just trying to do what they do. Without the budget, without the institutional advantages, without the history and culture and the funding and the support and the revenue, he's fronting. But what he's doing is he's risking the entire viability of HBCU sports by doing it, in my opinion. Why would he do that? Understanding, he understands business, right? What is he? I ask anybody in the chat, where does he think the money's going to come from?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you.
That's what I'm saying. What does he think? What is on the horizon where the schools are going to get this, I guess, this windfall of revenue where not only they can continue to pay coaches as salaries rise, continue to play, build out programs as they outfit programs with facilities and just the basic necessities, which they already behind on, right? And now they're going to start paying players and pay their settlement. Well, where's the money coming from? That's all I want to know. You can opt in. I think opting in is a good deal if the money's there, because I want the guys to get paid. I want 105 players to get paid. I want the guys in college football moving forward to be compensated for their time and their effort. But where's the money coming from? And I think Josh said it on one of your broadcasts, is that your expenses are going up, but where's your revenue coming from? Where's the increase of revenue coming in? That's what are black people that support HBCU sports, are they going to do more? Are they going to begin to support more? Are they going to buy more season tickets? Are they going to donate more often, more frequently than they have been? Are they going to come to more games? Or TV or the revenue from TV going up? Is somebody going to pay, $50, $60 million annually to the SWAC where they can divvy it up into 12 and let the conference take 40% of that, which I think is ridiculous. Why would the conference take 40% of anyway? But this thing, that don't make sense to me. Why would the conference take 40% of it and they don't have nothing, no upfront costs? You understand what I'm saying?
Other than salaries, other than the salaries. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have no bills to pay. They don't have no kids to feed. They don't have no light bills to pay. You know what I mean? They don't have none of that. Why would they take 40% of the money? But that's a whole. And here's my deal. If they get a $50 million contract, and this is pie in the sky, does the SWAC conference deserve $20 million of that contract, and then divide the rest of it up, the other 30 in between 12 schools? Does that seem fair for the schools to get 12.5 and the conference to get 20?
Nope.
That don't even sound like that don't even make sense, do it?
Nope.
The conference get 20 million, and Jackson State, Alabama State, all the other schools would get 2.5 million apiece. That don't even make good sense, do it?
It don't make no sense to me.
So even if they did get a windfall of cash, the SWAC would take the bulk of it. And then how would it get to the players then? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe my math is off. Maybe the contracts that I've seen and you showed us on paper and the TV revenue and all that stuff, maybe that stuff is different when they get in amongst the presidents and all that kind of stuff. But
my
based
issue,
on what we've seen,
my issue is this, and Mr. Campbell is putting stuff in the comments, but my issue is this. This is the part where I feel like if you're an HBCU alum and you've been preaching this lower resource institution mess to me, you're talking out both sides of your neck. Because you can't, when things are as it is now, and you're saying, Scotty, we can't compete. We're a lower resource institution. I mean, they have this and they have that and they have this. That does not change with adding more scholarships. Even if Mr. Campbell's right, they don't have to be a part of the revenue sharing program. You're still in the same financial boat that you were at 65 scholarships. Now you at 105 with no other change. Now you got a debt put on you, right? So now There's a debt on you because you got to help pay the NCAA's debt from what they got in the House settlement. You got that on you. Now you've added 105 scholarships, and even if you read the Georgia junk, Georgia took $2.5 million out of the revenue sharing program to assist with scholarships. So somebody's got to make this make sense to me. If you're preaching to me every time I say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? And all you keep coming back to me is, Scotty, we're low resource. We can't do that. We're low resource. We're low resource. We're low resource. And then there's a position for you to opt into a situation to where they add more scholarships to your budget that you have to fund, and you're in the same financial boat. What? I'm not, listen, I say this all the time. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I don't got no bachelor's in accounting. But that adds like there's more expenses than there is revenue, because your revenue has not jumped at any point. Go ahead.
Well, I want to say this, Scotty. If they able to make this work, this new model work, then what it tells you is they've been shortchanging the athletes and athletic pool. The schools have the entire time.
That's fair.
If they able to make 105 work,
that's fair.
If they able to make the rev share work, then what they've been doing, they've been shortchanging the athletes the whole time, because they've been saying the reason why they don't have this, they don't have that, is because they're low resources. They don't have the support from the donors and whatever the reasons are, right? At the end of the day, if you make this work, what it tells me is that you're only willing to do something if you're forced to do it. And why is that? Why can't the kids have the best without them being forced, without the administration being forced to provide the best for them? Can anybody in HBCU, because we are talking black excellence here, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that what we're talking?
Yeah.
We are talking, and every time we try to every time you try to put a standard of excellence to HBCUs, Scotty, the pushback is what? We owe $2 billion.
Yeah.
I get all of that.
Yeah.
I get all of that. But you're gonna be owed $2 billion when they roll this out too. Are they gonna? Let me ask Mr. Kelm, are they gonna pay the $2 billion? Is Louisiana gonna pay Southern and Grambling the $2 billion? Is Mississippi gonna pay Jackson State, Mississippi Valley, and Alcorn their $2 billion? So they can do this, or are they gonna be working under the same conditions that they were working under to do more? It's just really, like I say, I want the schools to opt in, because I want the kids to be paid. I want there to be rev share. I want all of it I want college football to be transformed into something that's not exploiting kids and exploiting families. That's what I really want. As a lifelong football fan, college football fan, I was sick and tired of the days when the schools make billions and then a kid can't even afford to, his mom and dad can't even afford to go see him play in a bowl game. Where the school is getting paid billions of dollars to be part of a conference that has tons of TV revenue. So I look forward to that. But as HBCUs, they have a different circumstance and situation. Scotty, let me ask you this, and I'll let you go. Is there any way you can see they can make up all the ground that they behind in revenue in just 1 or 2 years?
I don't think so. That's not true. That's not true. I don't think so, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, like I said, most of the I'm sorry, I'm doing two things at once. Most of the
Go ahead.
no, we'll see. Like most of the schools, we'll see if they, like I said, we'll see if most of the schools in the FCS apply to it and do it. But again, the higher level FCS programs, if they're cautious, you can't tell me why that the lower level institutions are not cautious.
And I would actually answer this, and this is another thing that's coming to mind. If now this may be a whole nother situation, but if you can, as an institution, are willing to take on all that burden that goes along with being part of the settlement, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just petition the NCAA just to play Division I football?
That's fair.
And join a high revenue conference. If you're Jackson State, right? Why wouldn't you, when you have attendance, you have, the infrastructure, so to speak, why wouldn't you just petition the NCAA to be part of some other conference where you can get the revenue, get the revenue? But here's the question: will Jackson State or any other HBCU fan base, for that matter, go out and support when they're not playing black schools? That's a whole nother, But I'm just saying, why take on all that expense to have the same old experience that you've always had? It doesn't make sense to me, man. Scotty, man, hey, this is a great show, man. I'll hang up and listen, bro.
Hey, appreciate it, Rock. I know I heard flat out from the commissioner's mouth when he went to Southern that he said to them that they will be in a $3 million debt. Now, there is things that I've read. So here's some things for the NCAA. And the AD from NCAT also said they had to pay a debt as well. But this is the thing, because he broke down the House settlement as well when he went on the Aggies athletic conference town hall meeting. He broke it down as well. This is the thing, though, that the conferences are able to do. The conferences are able to cap the scholarships, right? So if, let's say, the SWAC wants to go to 70 instead of 105, you're able to cap whatever you feel that you're able to do. So if they want to stay at 65, if everybody comes to an agreement to stay at 65, you can stay at 65. If you come to an agreement that you want to go to 75 or 85, you can come to the agreement of going to 80, 70, whatever. So FCS programs are allowed to do that. And yes, I also saw with Mr. Campbell about the Austin reward, which is like $5,400 for a semester and things like that, right? So again, what would make sense is this: you still got the debt you got to pay back. But if you stay at 65 and you then add, there you go. If you stay at 65 and then you add the Austin reward to each school and their athletes, that is what is that? That is extra revenue without bringing in extra expenses. So that makes sense, right? That makes sense. You stay at 65, you stay at where you at. You get the Austin reward funded to every institution, to all those college athletes or whatever. That is a increase in revenue. Your expenses stay the same. Nothing has changed, right? So that makes more sense. And Mr. Campbell's also right with the note. You don't have to opt into the revenue sharing platform because you ain't got no revenue share. So what you opting in for, right? For that aspect. So those are just some little things. But again, the expenses that you now have to pay is the $3 million debt per school. I think it's over a 10-year period, if I'm not mistaken, that you have to pay this debt off, right? So you get the Austin reward, but then you also have the $3 million debt that you got to pay off. Individual conference caps can cap its number of football scholarships. FCS conferences have been advised for legal reasons not to work together on scholarship limits. aka trying to set an FCS wide. Listen, man. I'm gonna keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this. It does not benefit HBCUs to be in the NCAA for football. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But to each his own. But again, let me read this real quick. It says, hearing from multiple industry people I trust that several D1 schools are having serious internal talks about reclassifying out of D1 before July House. I'll be a little surprised if nobody ends up doing it this year. Budget cuts may force some hands going down. Not sure what schools end up going through with it or not. Nobody wants to be the first. And to be fair, some of these situations are more about the school being in very rough shape than just house, rev share, athletic expenses. Not much you can do in an enrollment and revenue crisis as well. So there are a lot of things that are floating around that are affecting a lot of institutions that could affect their decision whether to get into it or whether not. And all I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. From day one, since I've came into this space, all I have ever heard is what you cannot do, what you cannot afford. Scotty, you're trying to compare us to this, and Scotty, you're trying to compare us to that, and we can't do what they do, and why should we try? And then as soon as you're able to follow the white man into some shit that could be your downfall, right off the plank. Right off the plank. It don't make I don't know. I don't know. I don't all I do is like, am I not understanding like what the situation is? Because I'm like, maybe I'm missing it. But I remember, for like Michael Jackson, I remember the time of the multiple conversations that have been had of what you cannot do and what you cannot afford and what this and what that and that. I don't know if there's anything that the model that is now, the model that is in place now, that doesn't, how is the new model that walks you into debt better? That is what, and see, that is what I think I love about AD Hinton from A&T, to where he really broke it down. This is my issue. I think a lot of the situation is, and I'm gonna just say it because that's just what I do. I think a lot of the situation that McClellan does is a lot of like under the table type of stuff, right? Like, because it doesn't, you would have to, like, if I'm sitting in the meeting, you would have to explain to me why I would take on a debt freely that I did not cause, that you're asking me to pay, that is taking away from my athletic budget, that I got to figure out another way. Now, if in most of these recruiting budget, like, have you seen like the end of the year stuff when they do like football revenue and all the, and it's like barely, some people are barely breaking even. Some people make a lot, some people make a little, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm already having trouble filling in the gap now, for the last 5, 7, 8 years, I've been having trouble filling in the gap. Why would I walk myself into a debt that I would have to pay that is not mine. And still have to fund everything that I have to fund. Somebody would have to explain that to me and make it make sense. Like, talk to me like I'm 6. Talk to me like I'm 8 and I don't understand what you're saying. Like, because it just doesn't make any sense. When the same people that are begging, asking for donations and money and giving and this, and you got to support, you got to give to your institution, you got to give. We need this, you got to give. And it's like, I just don't get it. But then nobody holds said person accountable for why you're not bringing in more money to the conference to oversee the debt or to help revenue for the institutions. Like, the ESPN deal is up. The ESPN deal is going to be up. And I don't think the ESPN, from what I've heard, I don't think the ESPN is going to renew with the conference. I think ESPN is going to be out of the HBCU business. I really believe that. From things that I've heard from people that I know, they believe ESPN is going to be out of the HBCU business. So at that point, who do you run to for the media money? You already sold your draws to Byron. I heard that deal is shaky because of the lawsuit. Because if Urban Edge wins the lawsuit, that means their deal is null and void because you can't sell them anything you didn't have the ownership and rights to. I'm going to say this, and a lot of people they never like when I say what I say, but I'm just telling the truth. If the SWAC loses the lawsuit, you got to fire Dr. Charles. You got to fire him. If he loses the lawsuit, you got to fire him. Because and you gotta fire his constituents that were there's no I hate to be this guy. There's no way you find yourself in a predicament that the commissioner is in right now. Because A, you did not understand the rights of media. You didn't understand legacy rights. I mean, you didn't understand media rights. You didn't understand with having like full rights of use. You didn't understand that. You didn't understand what priority and first and second and tertiary rights, whatever you want to call that crap. You didn't understand any of it. Right? So now you're in a boat. You're in a boat that has a lot of holes. And you're just hoping and praying. I think I'm talking about both, right? The MEAC's not in a lawsuit, but I think ESPN is going to be out of the HBCU business. I really believe that from what I've heard, right? Unless they get because it just makes sense. And I know people don't like to hear this, and I know people would say, Scotty, you're a hater, but it makes sense. If I'm in a bidding war, like I try to dumb stuff down for everybody because I'm not the smartest, right? So I look at it like this. If I'm trying to bid for a Maybach or a Rolls Royce, I can't keep buying Hondas and wasting my money when I got to use the money that I'm buying these Hondas with to use to get Maybachs, right? And this is what I tell people. ESPN is not the big dog in the ring anymore. They're actually the little dog because when you compare them to a Netflix and Apple and Amazon, they don't make their money off entertainment. They make their money off tech. Amazon and Apple and Google are big dogs that don't make their money off entertainment. They make their money off tech. So that money is never ending. ESPN is working from a background to where it's like, damn, we have to have entertainment to make money. That's the name of the game. So I can't keep putting stuff on my books that is not bringing me money when I got to pivot and buy these media rights for the big dogs. which the price just keeps going up. And ESPN's revenue is not matching it the same way as an Apple, an Amazon, right? Like these mega tech companies that are now getting into the entertainment space. So it's not, I'm not saying I'm Negrodamus or something. It's just common sense that at some point, ESPN is going to be out of, they're going to price themselves out. They're going to price themselves out because we can't afford that. We can't afford it. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I think that's and I wanted to talk about this. I'm so glad you brought this up. I think that's a great situation for HBCUs that Amazon got in the boat at the Mag City Classic. Now, how far they want to take it, who knows, right? But that is a good sign that there is still some, interest there by outside people, right? Like McDonald's, because it's a big game. It's one of the biggest classics, you know what I'm saying? So it's a big game. Bayou will have something to say about it, but Mag City Classic is a pretty big classic, and so even in a shit ass stadium, it still holds a lot of people and still brings entertainment, right? And there's a lot more people outside the stadium than it is inside the stadium. So it gives light to Amazon, like, hey, but again, does anybody trust the person running the conference to make a legit deal? Who trusts that? Who trusts that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those, I feel like dealing with Charles is one of those situations to where it's like you never had a baddie before, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like, anybody remember Hitch? Anybody remember the movie Hitch? Where he's dating that girl, Clarissa, and he's like, I know you don't love me as much as I love you, but I just want to let you know I really love you. Like, I gotta show that clip. Just so y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from. Because I feel like this is what it looks like when commissioners who don't know business walk into companies This is what I feel when it comes to the commissioners.
And my life would never be the same. I'm Alex.
Cressida.
What we had was beautiful.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too, Alex.
I know you don't love me as much as I love you. But that's okay. I'm just glad you love me at all.
In retrospect,
that's how they do business. I know you don't love me as much as I love you, but I'm just glad that you love me at all. That is how they do business. Literally. And when you go into if you go into a business meeting like that, to where I'm just glad to be in the room, I'm just glad to have the conversation, you end up getting what you get. You end up getting, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. I'm just glad that you love me at all. I know you don't love me as much as I love you, but I'm just so glad you love me. And it's sad. But again, that's what happens when you That's what happens when you have administrators trying to do business deals. It just doesn't work out in your favor. It just doesn't, because they don't understand the aspect of business. And that's in the name of the game now is business. And who can bring in the most revenue, who can go get sponsorship, who can go get marketing deals. Like, that's the name of the game, man. It's not about sitting courtside. It's not about sitting being an NCAA. He's the NCAA head of who gives a fuck? What money are you bringing into the conference? I don't give a damn about your freaking resume. That shit has nothing to do with nothing. What money are you bringing in? And again, I know people like, oh, Scotty, we were in the red and he made us in the black. Like, damn, like, again, congratulations, but where athletics is going, I don't know if he can take you. But hey, what do I know? Listen, man, I appreciate you guys' time. It's a little too late, started late, but listen, until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.